Peace, everybody. This your brother, Mr. Holipsism. I got my sister with me. Sister Salima, Umoja's favorite in the BAIO. Let me
Yes,
mention that.
that's my brother right there.
That's his favorite.
Yes, me and Emoji. Sometimes, we are so in sync, and then other times I just gotta hit him up and like, you better stop it right now. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's my brother right there. Um, this live stream is basically just a conversation. Like I've titled it "Confidence versus Competence," and it was based on something that Jabari said during a live stream. Well, actually, I don't think it was during a live stream. He said it in one of our Discord chats or whatever. And he said that confidence is how good you think you are, and competence is how good you are.
You actually are. Hmm.
Oh, there he is. Let me bring him in. What up, Jay? Oh, he's on mute. When he's
Oh,
ready, he'll come in. Oh, there he is.
yes.
How you
How's
doing, bro?
everybody doing? I'm
Great. How
doing
are
good.
you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a stressful week with all these classes, but I'm doing well right now. I have a little bit of a break right
Oh,
Very
good,
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 very
good.
good. Yeah, we were talking about the confidence versus competence line, and how confident people think they can do something, but competent people can actually do it.
Yep.
And I thought that was a
See,
great quote, and I stole it from you. At least I let you know, though. I'm giving you credit.
it's
now. Yeah.
and it's
I,
funny because most people um get by on confidence. They really do.
Donald Trump.
That's that fake it till you make it. They really do it. But if you really look at it, nuts to bolts, they can't really do anything.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's the
My
perfect example of what we're talking about.
my ex supervisor, she gave me failing yearly reviews every single year that she was my supervisor. But she came to my desk five, six, seven times a day, needing help. How could you
Mm.
fail a person, give a person a failing review that the person that's helping you when the people on your team can't help them. You send them to me. How could I actually fail anything? I should get A's across the board.
She was hating
Oh, she was hating so hard.
big time.
She was hating so hard. But she's still faking it. She just got a promotion and she's dumb as rocks. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Donald Trump presidency is what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
This was a guy who fake, and he's the ultimate example. He's like the Superman,
The
the
poster
Batman for that
child
shit.
of a daggone idiot. You fake it till you. He faked it till he made it. He really, really did, and that was in everything he's ever done.
Hmm.
Everything from his casinos to everything he ever did, every business venture he ever had, they all flopped. All of them.
And this guy was probably more shocked than anybody he became president.
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen the look on his face when they told him that he won.
But this is the thing, and it was crazy to me that it happened the way it happened because he said, "I will run as a Republican because Republicans are stupid." He said, I could kill somebody on national TV and the Republicans would still vote for me." He
Hmm.
actually said that in an interview. He said, "If I was to ever run for president, I will run under the Republican Party because they're stupid."
Hmm.
Yeah. I remember I searched for that interview and you can't find it anymore. Just like you can't find an interview of him basically molesting his daughter on camera when she was like 14 years old.
I
Forced
remember
her to
it
sit
though.
on his lap and everything and was touching all over her.
I remember it.
Yeah. But we forget all of that stuff. Forget
Jabari
all of
was
that.
talking about how the established leadership shows more confidence than they do competence.
Absolutely.
Remember that, Jabari?
Yes.
Could you expand on that?
Yes. So the way the American system is in politics in general, people and politicians value confidence over competence. So it's no longer does this politician know how to run a government, what's his background, what's his qualifications. It's now how do you sound intelligent? Do you sound firm? Do you sound charismatic? It's not, do you know how to do the job at hand? And do you know what you're doing? In Salima and Holland, you can attest to this. American politics now is no longer about policy, no longer about public policy and how to implement things. Now it's
Hmm.
based on catchphrases. Um, it's based on soundbite. It's not genuine, intellectual, competent decision making. It's
Hmm.
erratic, it's irrational, and it's based on charisma and what appears to be a good choice rather than is. But like I said in the previous live stream, competent people oftentimes don't run for office because they don't have egos. We're not seeking to be the biggest person in the room or getting the most attention. That's not what competent people do.
Hmm. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like what makes it dangerous to be attracted to confidence over competence is you get a situation like a Donald Trump. With people like that can rise up in the ranks simply just based on the power of their personality. And nobody ever stops to think, is this person competent? Can they actually accomplish anything that they're talking about? Can they execute a plan? But nobody thinks about that because we're just wrapped up in personality. And that's the reason why I know a lot of people get frustrated with me and the content on my channel because I don't really talk about people. And when I say people, I mean personalities because I really don't care about them. I don't care about any of the black talking heads. I don't care about any of these celebrities. I don't care about any entertainers. I don't care about any of that stuff because our problem is we don't have organization. We don't have institutions. That's our biggest problem. Our biggest problem isn't whether or not so and so is real or not real. That's a fucking stupid ass conversation with small minded people have. And I have this thing on my desk where it talks about great minds thinks of ideas, the average mind thinks of places and things, and the small mind thinks of people. To remind myself when I'm in a conversation, what am I dealing with? And usually when you're dealing with people who only talking about people and celebrities and politicians and all this, you're dealing with small-minded people. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you just know who you're dealing with, know that you can't have any conversations about concepts and ideas with these people because it's like speaking Mandarin Chinese to them.
I wanna elaborate on your point. Hala, remember today when I sent you that quote? I didn't send Salima it, but remember that quote that I sent you from that Atlantic article about it's not misinformation, it's amplaganda?
Hmm.
And that man was talking about the quote was I don't know exactly the quote, but the quote was similar to this. He said, my biggest challenge is I talk about everything, but I gear towards talking more towards solution to problem. And those quotes don't go viral. In the article, it basically talks about how pe- social media is more geared towards outrage than it is to actual solutions. And like he said in that Atlantic article, we are the living embodiment of that. We don't get a lot of views because we're not talking about drama or talking about stuff that's outrageous. We're talking about actual solutions. And solutions don't really get clicks and views like that.
No, I have the quote right here. He says, foundationally, the challenge is that I talk about all kinds of things. Most of what I talk about are solutions to problems, but those posts don't go viral. Just the truth. Like I said, we had this in a discussion internally, and I feel comfortable talking about it, publicly, because I mean it's no secret. Um, oh wait, Sister Salima got knocked out. I didn't even know you got knocked out, Salima.
Oh yeah. I was
Sorry
like, I
about
think
that.
my phone is dying. I think it was trying to save the battery.
Oh, you got to charge up.
I gotta charge up, yeah.
I'll put you on mute then.
All right, thanks.
Let me bring in Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
Peace,
So
Mr. Wilson.
Hey, what's up? I'm just finishing up at work. I just came to see what you guys doing.
Okay, I'll put you on mute. Yeah.
like Vic
Well,
said, social media is geared towards entertainment. But go ahead.
yeah, what I was going to say is if we had, let's say that we set up our situation like Kevin Samuels, and I don't want to make people think that I'm going at Kevin Samuels because I don't care about Kevin Samuels. I'm agnostic to Kevin Samuels, but I'm just using this as an example. If we set up like, let's say we had the same type situation where we had one of our BAIO members go live every day and battle against Black Power Americans, militant integrationists, and um, Captain
Captain
American
America.
Negroes. And every day for about 2 hours, we will be just battling and going in with these people. Do you know how many subscribers we would have? How much interaction we would have on the channel? How many clicks and views? Because that's the stuff that sells. There's a formula for success. The question is, do you have the integrity to not do the formula if the formula is like that? The formula is not productive. It's just strictly sensationalist clicks and views. And if we wanted to do that, we can definitely do it. But the problem is we have some integrity and we have a conscience. But there's definitely a model for success within the internet space, within social media. And everybody who is vastly popular on it in one form or another follows that formula.
Hmm. It was the same thing in the article that I mentioned, the Atlantic. He started the tweet hashtag Pelosi must go. It got hundreds of thousands of tweets and retweets. But
Mhm.
anything dealing with solutions, he probably can't even bust 1,000. Or if he does, he gets like 1,000 or 2,000 tweets or retweets. That's what we're talking about with social media in this era. It's geared towards confrontation, geared towards degeneracy. It's never geared towards stuff that's productive. It's
Yeah.
hardly ever.
Yeah, and virtue signaling. And don't forget that, which is
Oh
probably
yeah,
the most annoying thing right now. The virtue signaling is just off the charts right now.
make you sound like you're a good person because I was because I watched a lot of different YouTube channels and they were talking about that actually. They were talking about on one video virtual signaling and that people should like they virtue signal to indicate that they're a good person rather than actually show people that they're a good person and actually do things. It's easier to virtue signal than it is to actually do things.
Right. And that's infecting college campuses right now. That's infecting college campuses right now. Virtue signaling. Instead of, like you said, if you're really good, do. And it's always the people, and it's always pandering. Like they don't understand how pandering that virtue signaling is. Nobody wants to be pandered to.
In American politics, I wholeheartedly disagree because we would not be seeing Democrats and Republicans caping hard for their base if they were not pandering. Like,
No, I'm talking about us.
oh, okay, I'm about to
Yeah,
say,
pandering definitely works for the masses. Like that's a definite success rate, formula. But for us, for the people that's intelligent, that shit does not work. It
If
doesn't
anything, it's
drive us. It
annoying.
doesn't exactly. It doesn't motivate us. Let me just kiss your ass and tell you everything you want to hear. Like, oh yeah, that's the person I want to follow. But like you said, it works. Peace, Ruby Williams. Peace, NDR. Peace, Vic. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace, Ronan.
And to elaborate, that's one of the important things for us that we take competence over competence, because competent people in politics are usually, let's say it, narcissistic. They're
Mm-hmm.
very charismatic. They lack substance. Okay, and they were talking about this in a political article. Like I said, I read the Political, I read the Atlantic, I read other websites, other journalists, and one of the things they were talking about was in a debate is, if a politician was to talk competently and talk intelligent intelligently, about the mechanisms, the technicalities, that's going to turn on viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers are not going to watch a debate where there's actually policy discussion, intellectual conversations on, okay, it's going to get funded through this type of tax, and we're going to do this type of tax because according to this many percent of corporations generate this much money, and if we take this much percentage of of all these corporations' income for taxes, we are able to fund this. People don't want to hear that. People want brief sound bites like the radical left, or we want the Green New Deal, or we
Mm-hmm.
want, like, it's simplistic. And as long as you sound confident, you're able to get to the White House, which to me is super problematic. I don't care about how confident you are. Okay. You can have a lot of confidence in bomb attack, because confidence is about what you think you are. Competence is, it's time to perform. I don't care about how confident you think you was. Competence is, show me the result.
Right. Exactly. And that's the problem. It's like we attract, and that's the reason why, like I said, I stay away from the individual things. I stay away from the attacking individuals and getting into discussion about what they did in their personal life and stuff like that. I don't care about that stuff. What I'm thinking about is the system. Did you see that article that I sent you on China and the building of the
Yeah, the
railway?
railroad. Yes.
That's the type of stuff I'm interested in. And like Ronan said, I wish that we would, you know, learn from the Chinese, learn their system. And that way we don't need them to do it for us. We can do it for ourselves. That's what I'm into. Like I said, I always talk about skills transfer. I don't understand why. Well, then again, I mean, there's probably 1,000 reasons, but I really don't understand why we act as if everybody else can run shit except us.
Hmm.
You have your own country and you still rely on the European and still rely on other ethnic groups when you have your own country.
And you wonder why people don't take Africa serious as a power. Well, you don't show it. Power is shown. Power is not given.
Yeah, it's gonna take a new breed, man. It's gonna take
And
a
think
new breed.
and things are not hard if you have competent people, because like NDR 1981 said, logic makes you assess and think. When you're competent, you're logical, you are able to plan things out. So I know, okay, in a country, I need civil society. I need which may include consumer organizations. I'm gonna need nonprofit organizations. I'm gonna need police. I'm gonna need firefighters. I'm gonna need infrastructure, hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure. I need my people to have human capital. What is human capital? How do I enable this human capital? How far in education do they need to go? Primary, secondary, tertiary. Does tertiary education include that? You see, that's what coming from logic days. You're thinking, how do I make things happen and be aware of what potential opportunities and roadblocks may come across.
Competence, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, I had just uploaded before I did this live. I uploaded a excerpt from the live that we did on Sunday, and I was saying how Black women and nationalists have a lot in common because both of them are suffering and complaining because Black men are not stepping up to the plate and doing what they're supposed to do. Now I know that may hurt. I know
It
that might
doesn't hurt.
trigger.
It's the example.
Yeah.
If you're triggered, it's you. Like people have said over. If the shoe don't apply, let it fly. If you get triggered, it's a reflection of you.
Basically, don't get mad. Don't get big mad or little mad. It is what it is, man. There's too many people out here, too many Black men who's more than comfortable with white men being in control and being in power. And for the vast majority of those ADOS and FBA people, they are totally comfortable with white people being in charge. And this is Black power.
Oh,
This is who we should be following.
oh. I think we also need to say this is an uncomfortable reality. Majority of the people that I see in the comments that are advocating going back to Africa, notice how they're Black women. I want you to notice that the vast majority who most of the time support the Back to Africa movement or support leaving America are Black women. Not saying Black men aren't doing it, but the bulk of them I see are Black women. I see a lot of Black men defending we are indigenous to America because most of those movements were spurred by Black men. We can talk about Yvette Carnell and the foundation of ADOS. But the reality of it is, this whole we ain't African, a lot of that came from and were spurred by Black men. Let's
Yeah.
we have to be honest about that.
Yeah, we got people in high spotlights calling themselves Hebrew Israelites.
Fueled by Black men.
You know, that's being taken seriously. Like somebody who's a multi-millionaire, like Nick Cannon, is walking around with a fucking turban on his head, and everybody's taking him seriously. And I don't blame him because he's a fucking celebrity living in a bubble. So all you got to do is get the right person around them, and they're following him.
Mm-hmm.
So he
But
just happened to
also,
get around the Hebrew Israelite Moore circle, and now all of a sudden, like now he's a Hebrew Israelite in the Moore.
and that's the problem
Whatever.
with American celebrity and American society. Celebrity, I understand celebrities have a huge influence on people. And the problem is that it's easier to get into the wrong circles than it is to get to the right into the right circles. Just like it's easy for misinformation to get spread widely than for the correct facts to get spread. You notice misinformation gets spread, gets millions of tweets. The correct response or expertise answer only gets like 10,000 tweets or 10,000 retweets.
Yep. Yep. Telling you that's what it is, man. It's like people are attracted to this person that this cult of personality.
And you know the thing that people don't people the thing that disgusts me about these people who go for this cult of personality. There's nothing wrong if you admire somebody, but I always see it like this: if that person is not willing to care for you or go to the bat for you, that's somebody you don't need to be following.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I was watching on Wired, it was a person who was in a cult, and she talks about how the cult leader never does any work. It's always the people following the cult that do all the work.
Right.
Case in point, Donald Trump. All the Trump supporters are upset that Donald Trump ain't bailing them out. My response is, You follow the dude who you know is not going to come to defend you. You thought he was going to come to save you, and he's not, because he's a narcissist. He's sociopathic. Therefore, he only cares about himself. He doesn't care about you.
And the fact that they don't know that says volumes.
Like, is he taking care of your rent? Is he taking care of your uh housing? Is he giving you food? Is he giving you job opportunities? Is he personally coming there and advocating for you? Not doing a Twitter feed like he was doing. I mean, actually on the ground, speaking to people, going door to door, putting in the work. No, he wasn't. So why are you propping this man up as somebody who is a good leader? Mind you, this man is overweight, obese. This man literally eats McDonald's. So you're not even worshiping a guy who shows a care of respect for his own health. You're literally just worshiping a dude because he says something. And like people said, he was a Democrat, and then he switched to Republican. Like Salima said, he went to the Republican Party because Republicans are anti-intellectual. They don't care about facts, and he did a lot of virtue signal and dog whistling.
Like Vic said, he gives him that psychological red meat. People, like, share, subscribe, comment, join. I put the link in the chat. BAIOAfrikstan.org/register. So if you haven't joined the BAIO, you ain't black, as the scroll says. You ain't black,
And like
Jack.
And like we said, it's okay to have to like people, but like people because of their actions and that they care about you. If that person focuses on themselves all the time, me, then that's a huge problem. Notice, you can hate, you can have your opinion on Bernie Sanders all you want to. But one of the things I'll give props to Bernie Sanders, he ain't got no ego. It ain't me, myself, and I. He said, not me, we. You can have your opinion on Bernie. He didn't fight hard enough, or this or that. You can have that. But that's not my point. I'm talking about personally. We saw it even in the debate. He was talking about how good Joe Biden was and how good his opponents was. He wasn't self-centering himself. That's what I'm saying. If you have somebody like that that's not self-centered and cares about you, and you want to follow that, then I'm cool with that. But also, that's not a cult. I mean, that's just a fan club or organization. But when you are worshiping somebody who, number one, is narcissistic, has no sense of empathy, has no sense of remorse, completely cruel, then it becomes a problem, because it's bound to fail. It's always bound to fail.
Do you see what Ronan put?
The sculptor and the clay. If a clown Svengali with a crap ideology gets around a celebrity, the Svengali can cultivate these celebrities with their BS strategy. True.
And
Hey,
I know because I have family that used to do security and bodyguards and all that stuff for these celebrities, and used to tell me all the time, like, that's one of the things that these guys think, that these women are just so untouchable and so unattainable. The only thing that's preventing you from being near them is that you're just not in their circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
They're everyday people. Like, they
Yeah.
treat these people like they're gods, like they got super. They're everyday people. You just, like you said, are not in my circle,
Right.
right? It was like, um, I remember seeing. It's like going to a game. When you go to a game, you see the people. It's like, wow, that's actually the athlete. Or wow, that's actually the the celebrity that I saw on TV. But then once you've seen them so many times, it's like they're not you like they're human beings. Like
Hmm.
they're like you and I.
Yep. But people aren't in the circle, so it's just like like I said. And when you have a
They
nightclub
think
in New York,
they think what they know. They don't actually know.
when you have a nightclub in New York, how you gain popularity is by exclusion. When you exclude people from something, people assume that that thing is valuable. It's all a trick, you know.
Hmm.
Like they you get a club, and what you do is you have some nice looking women outside taking the tickets or whatever. You have a line so that you see a line of people trying to get in, so that sends a message to you. Oh, like, oh, where? Wow, everybody's trying to get in. What's the deal? And then you pick and choose who you want to come in. And what that does is it creates this demand to get into your club, because now getting in is a status symbol. You were able to get in while everybody else is waiting outside. So it's all smoke and mirrors. And that's why people that know how to play that game are very successful, and they achieve a lot, because we live in a system now that is not a meritocracy.
It's never been a meritocracy.
Yeah,
It's based
everybody
on
talks
who you
about it.
know. It's based
Right.
on who you know, and honestly, your inheritance. If you have inheritance and you got good social capital, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. They're always hooking, like this recent incident that happened with Alec Baldwin. The person who was supposedly the gun expert on the set was probably the nephew or niece of some rich person who they just gave a job to. How the fuck you gonna be 24 years old and you a weapons expert, and as the people start investigating, then they find out, oh well, I'm not really comfortable with checking weapons. Like what? All that was somebody who got a job because one of their nieces or nephews needed a job.
Hmm.
And I've seen it in action. I've been, like I said, I was speaking to y'all before, and I said I went to a show, a taping. Sherry Shepard, that's the girl's name. Now I'm just now remembering one of her shows, and in between the takes, all the writers would get together, and I kept seeing this kid who looked like a like an extreme skateboarder or something. He couldn't have been no more than 18 years old. He looked mad young, and I'm like, who the hell is that? Then I find out that's the lead writer on the show. The lead writer, because it's the nepotism. People take care of their own.
Hmm. And that's honestly what stalls the economy. It's not so much that you don't have the people, but if you're putting in people who are not competent, people who you know can't get the job done, it leads to lost investment in the economy.
Hmm.
How many times have we heard the corruption, patronage being the huge issue for development on the continent? You're focused so much on let me get my family members jobs rather than does your family member have the skills, the qualifications, the know-how, and the mentality to do the task at hand?
True indeed. If these people only knew how easy it was, these, like you said, these celebrities are regular people, man. Regular people. And I was talking with my big brother R today from in the paint, and we were saying, I don't understand how a man would want to have as his girlfriend or wife a Cardi B or a Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm not talking about them personally. I mean that whole image. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what you want as your mate. What type of shit are you on? But this is the stew that we have to swim in. Let me see if my other people are ready to come in. Salima, you good? I guess she's still charging. Yeah, Mr. Black Wilson is still muted, so he probably has a lot of background stuff going on. But yeah, Jabari, was there something else you wanted to get into?
Yes. I think we need to also talk about what the word elite means. We really need to get into that because I'm tired of this. Oh, the elite or the experts. This anti-intellectual mindset once again, fitting into the competence versus confidence narrative. Okay, when you say elite, you need to be specific because competent people know that you have to define things. You can't just say vague terminologies. You can't say the elite or, this group of people. You have to be specific and define what that means.
I
Okay,
have it
so
right in front of me.
go
You want me to
ahead.
read the definition?
Yes.
Dictionary definition of elite is a select group that is superior in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society. Ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society. That's the dictionary definition.
There's nothing. And what's the problem with being elite? Can
Thank you.
somebody tell me what's wrong with being elite? You want elite people. Now, there's a difference between saying and there are different types of elite. There's a political elite, there's a social elite, there's a business elite, there's a financial elite. There's elite in every strata of society. You're not gonna, I'm not one of these people that says there shouldn't be an elite because you're gonna have an elite. Now, how you
Mhm.
structure that elite is one thing, but you're gonna have an elite because example would be in context of basketball or football. You have your regular basketball players, you have your all stars. I mean, you got your regular players, you got your bench players, or you got your reserves, your bench players. Then you got your starters. Then you got, from there, you have all stars. And then you start getting into the elite, your superstars. Sorry,
Mhm.
your stars, and then your superstars. There are layers to this. It's not everybody's in the same boat. People who are engineers who are good, extremely good at math, they're going to be in the elite because what they score on their math level is significantly higher than the average. If the average test score is a 750 out of, let's say, 1200, and I get an 1100 out of 1200, I'm technically elite because I'm in the elite bracket of those students' test scores. And you want the elite. You want to have the best, the brightest, the most competent, the most intelligent, the most hardworking. That's what you want. We in society today devalue intelligence. We
And you know
we
why, right?
yeah, the dumbing down of society, the education system as well.
Mhm. There's a reason why. It's intentional because if the bar is too high, you want to lower it so you can participate. It's a strategy and tactic by people who aren't as talented. And you see it I mean, it's across the board right now. I mean, there's elite artists. Every artist is not the same, right? I mean, there's,
No,
like you said, there's elite in everything. There's a lot of people out here doing painting. Not everybody's going to be an elite painter. There's people doing construction. There's people doing electronics. There's people doing plumbing and all this. There's people who can do it, and then there's people that's the elite that do it. See, the problem is people think that if you say that somebody's elite, because look at the definition, a select group that is superior in terms of what? Ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society. It doesn't mean that they're better people. It means that they are better at those abilities and those qualities. But we think if you say elite, then that means they're a better person than you. So then automatically you're against elite. How come I don't think that? How come you don't think? We can be around people that are much better at certain things than we are, but we never look at that as us being devalued. I can't be in your presence because you're so much better at me than. No, I can learn from you. But that takes a certain amount of security with yourself and a certain amount of esteem. So you can be around other people. Like you said, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And I agree with that. I want to be surrounded by competent people who know what the fuck they're doing. And I can learn from those people. And I can be confident that those people are going to. It's like when you have a team of people, like in the army, and somebody's guarding the left flank and the other person's guarding the right flank. You want to be confident that if anything comes on the right, that person's going to take care of it. If anything comes on the left, they're going to take care of it. You ain't got to worry about it. That's what it's like to be around elite people. People that are masters and skilled at certain things. It's nothing wrong with that. But like you said, they have to dumb it down. It's just like hip hop used to be very, very lyrical. You used to be able to be, you had to be smart, first of all, to be involved in hip hop because you had to be well read. You had to have a large base of knowledge so that you can write your rhymes. Now, you just need to read a Mother Goose nursery book and you can get out here and be a rap star. Because the bar is so goddamn low, you can have a fucking speech impediment and be a rapper.
Or as long as you have a good beat, that's what matters.
Right.
Lyrics can be utter trash, make no sense, completely disorganized, no structure, no flow. But as long as it's got a good beat, people will jam to it.
Oh, Ronnie's in there? Oh, no, I thought he was. I'm sorry. I'm looking at him on the screen. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with you.
And also to really hamper that on, think about if you were in medicine, right? Let's say you were gotten an injury. Do you want the average doctor to treat you, or do you want the elite doctor, the best of the best
Exactly.
doctor to treat you?
Exactly. You want to go in surgery. You want to make sure that this guy is the master surgeon. Or do you want to be his first patient? Oh, look at what Ronan says.
Yeah,
Oh, you
he
see that?
says, yeah, what you're talking about, House, require people to be humble and exhibit humility. And sadly, a lot of people that is lacking. No shame in being a role player on a highly proficient team. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather be on a team that's highly proficient, that's winning, and be a role player than be a superstar on a team that's losing.
That's what Michael Jordan decided. He said, listen, I can go out here and score 60, 75 points a game, or I can get some people around me and we can win some championships. This ain't rocket science. But if you notice, this gets back to the confidence versus competence thing. The confident person is just comfortable scoring their 60 and 75 points a game. They're completely satisfied with that and losing. But at least they look good, which I don't understand because I don't know how you can look good losing. I never could understand that. Like, oh, we lost, but I was looking good. No, you don't. You don't look good. The team that won looks good. You walking off in shame after you done lost the game. That's not a good look. I don't give a shit if you scored 100 points. That's why I said, man, if we had competent people in charge, man, I could take a break, man.
And to add to Rona's points about humility, that's the thing about competent people. Competent people are humble. They want to learn more, and most importantly, they don't feel the need to be the center of attention. Humble people embrace what they do because they know what they do matter. And they don't need to be reminded every day that what they do matter because they know what they're doing is matters. People who are confident want to constantly be reinforced that they're good. They like hearing people singing the praises. It's just like there is a great example. There's a difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. Self-confidence and self-esteem are also two different things. Self-confidence means how much do you believe that you can do something? Self-esteem is how do you see yourself as a person? How do you value yourself as a person? And you got a lot of people who are self-confident but got low self-esteem. You
Yep.
can be somebody who's highly self-confident and have low self-esteem.
Right. And that's what makes it makes it unable for you to be around people who have intelligence and who are competent, because then what you start doing is judging yourself as a person against them, so they can fuck you up simply by just existing. They don't even have to attack you. Just all they got to do is be alive and doing themselves, and they automatically are a threat to you because you don't have self-esteem. I tell you, when I get around people that's smart, that's where I want to be, man.
Exactly.
That's where I want to be. It's like I love it. And when people are intelligent and they're giving like real shit, I sit back and I listen. I would much
I,
rather be in that situation.
Holla, I saw this me on this post on Instagram. It was a medical meme photo, but I'll never forget it. So what was said in the whole Instagram post was when you base your entire personality on being smart, but when you go to medical school, everybody's smart. So now you have to completely change how you view yourself because yeah, congratulations, you're in medical school. Everybody's smart because we all had to be smart to get into medical school. What makes you special? I'll never forget my brother. Like, yeah, you're smart at your high school, but when you get to college, you're going to begin students who are valedictorians. You're going to begin students who graduated when they were 16, graduated when they was 15. You got students coming in as sophomores and juniors because they've accumulated. You're not the only smart one.
Hmm. Can I give you an example of that? A real
Hmm.
time example. This happened one time when I was at my job, and there's a brother. His name is Mark Hackett. My friends know who I'm talking about. And Mark is a really bright dude, right? But this goes to show you what it's like when you're not surrounded by smart people all the time. What you do is you just assume that everybody is not smart. And I remember we were talking about something, and I started talking to him as if I was talking to somebody else. And then I had to catch myself. I was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I apologize." It's like I'm preaching to the choir. He's like, "You already know this stuff." But that's what happens. You get so that's why I like being surrounded by smart people and being in a circle of people who are educated or are learning things, or be in that type of situation where people are constantly getting new information and updating what they know, because it keeps you on your toes. And you learn. I want to learn. I want to learn things. I want to know um, new things to help me expand my knowledge base, and then therefore help me be more pragmatic and practical as a person. Peace, Queen Common Sense. Thank you for catching me live. I know I rarely do it lately, but I'm glad you're with us.
And to add, not only when you're surrounded by smart people do you learn, but it puts less pressure on you because I'm not the go-to person.
Mm-hmm.
When you're the smartest person in the room, when something happens, everybody goes to you. Everybody looks to you. And if you get it wrong, your whole existence tumbles because you built your entire personality on being the smartest person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to know, yeah, I'm smart. I know I'm smart. But I want to be around people who, hey, yo, I've never seen this problem before. Can you help me? Oh, I've seen something like that before. Do you know how to do this problem? Oh, yeah, I know, I'm familiar with that. And it gets done quicker because we're exchanging stuff. And also, people got to stop with this smartest, brightest. Those words are subjective because you define smartest based on what criteria? Because you can say Hollip is the smartest person on the planet. Hobbs gonna say by what metrics? What are you? How are you determining I'm the smartest person? Is that intellectual? Is that emotional? Is that socially? Is that kinesthetically? How are you defining smartest?
Yeah, because a smart person who goes to college and has advanced degrees could get taken in the streets by somebody who didn't even go to school. They could get scammed right out of their money.
Mm-hmm.
So how
And,
smart are they?
and Queen, you said the right thing. The key to being smart is understanding that one does not know everything, and one tries to know as much as he can. That's the thing. I don't know everything, but I want to know as much as I can. I get angry the fact that I don't. But guess what? That motivates me to want to learn more, to learn as much as I can, and I don't stop until I know as much as I can. And I know that I will never reach that, but I want to get as close to that as I can so that I can maximize my potential. Not, I think I've known everything because I've read maybe one or two things. There are things you learn every day. There are things you don't know that you have to keep looking and looking and looking. But that's called humility.
Yep. Forgive me, I had to take care of a troll.
Yeah, I'm about to
You
say.
saw him. I was gonna comment on it. I was waiting for you guys to finish, but he got snapped out of existence. So
Yeah. I think you're a mod, right? I think I made you a mod.
let me check the YouTube. Yes, I'm a mod. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
he got
good.
taken care of.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, go ahead,
I'm
brother.
I missed a lot of it, so I'm gonna need a. Are you talking about being smart or elitism or something like that?
Yeah, we're talking about we went from we're adding on the competence versus competence by saying elite because people say be elite, and I said there's nothing wrong with being elite, and Hollip defined what being elite means.
I would say like the context of it, because the whole American version of elite is pretty much psychopathic assholes who rule the country. But as a layman's term, and is like you said, elite athletes. You're always going to have an athlete better than or a kid in class as valedictorian. He would be the elite person in his grade or class at that. I would say context of the word elite is important, so that way people aren't thinking like, oh, you're praising, psychopaths. Like, no, that person is really good at what they're at, so they at the elite level of what they do.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Competent people understand context.
Yes, we would hope so.
not
Remember, I
confident
said,
people. Because confident people will think you can do anything, anywhere, and completely forget the circumstances, the context to which things happen.
yeah, remember what I said. Like, if it's words that um we need to have in our culture is subject and context. We need to understand those two words. Oh shit, the trolls are coming out. You see, I got 7 dislikes.
I kind of I feel that's one account. Like that's
It
one
is.
person with like multiple accounts and they have
Yeah.
no life. Like
No, it's
like
actually good because the funny part about it is when the live stream is over and the thing archives, it always gets rid of those thumbs down because it's only one person doing
yeah, from the same IP. Like they so smart they're fucking stupid. They don't realize that YouTube will literally look at the IP address of where all these accounts are on in the video is coming from and they'll just remove it automatically.
right.
But
So you're
like
doing
I just
all that energy for nothing.
yeah, for nothing. Like, oh, look on the live stream, people are disliking, but then when you go to see who's disliking, one motherfucker shows up.
Oh, it's so funny.
Can you put Queen Common Sense's recent highlight her recent statement?
That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That right there is the truth.
Yeah. Like Western, like especially in the school system, it's like if you can retain, then you're smart. Just repeat back what you know learned in class and you're a genius.
Not do you know how to solve problems. First of all, address problems or recognize them and then solve them. We
Hmm.
take smart as you're good at retaining. There's a thing, it's great to memorize knowledge. It's great. You should want to retain things. But it's useless to retain things if you can't apply it. Great. I have all this theory, but I can't apply it to the real world. So technically, it's useless because I can't apply it. There's a reason why when you're in college, you go to college to get your degree, but they say when you're in college, you need to get an internship. Why? Because what you learn in college is theory. What you learn in an internship is actual application of it. That determines your intelligence. Can you apply what you've learned and retained to solve a solution?
Yeah. I call it abstracting from a body of data. Can you abstract from like if you give everybody the same amount of data, intelligence will depend on how that each person abstracts from that data and how they go about performing the function. It's just like you have lawyers, they all go to law school. I mean, there's 1,000 law books, but in order to be an effective lawyer, then you got to be able to abstract from all that stuff that you learn to come up with a strategy and a tactic to win.
And make the argument sound like your own, not just like you're reading from Black's Law Dictionary verbatim with every
Right.
argument.
Mm-hmm. And to go into to add, Queen Common Sense, she's killing it tonight. She is on fire. It's one of the things, even right now as an engineering student, whenever we do assignments, especially when you hit junior and senior level classes, it's no longer just I put stuff here. They ask you, why did you put it here? If you put it here, what's going to happen? So an example would be we had to put a couple of items on a blueprint, but you had to specifically explain why did you put it there and what are some of the risks of putting it there, or are there any risks? And that's supposed to apply your knowledge. Okay, I put it here because it's not near a power line. If I put it near a power line, this is going to happen. Therefore, this is going to happen, and I shouldn't do that. That's how you're supposed to process stuff. If if I give you data, like you said, data, what can you conclude on this data, and what can be done to change that data?
Right.
The thing is, like, college is supposed to teach you that, but you would figure it should be regular, like at least elementary school. Certain like sixth, seventh, eighth grade should teach you these things rather than you having to pay for it out the ass. Like, oh, so this is how you do taxes. Oh, this is how I wipe my ass. Like, you would think the education system would teach you these basic things rather than you having to graduate 12 years then to go pretty much into debt to learn basic shit like that.
If we had a properly functioning society, the education should come from your home and from your culture,
True.
because that's what happens. Like you go to school to get the technical knowledge, but then you get the real education amongst your culture.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we go to school for the education. Most people are educated before they even get to school. They just go there to learn the technical stuff, get the paperwork and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it. Just because you college educated, that don't mean you smart. It just means you got a degree.
Yeah.
That don't mean you smart. We've seen that in industry where qualified people get passed on promotion, but people who literally are less educated than the person below them got the promotion.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We did a good solid hour. I think that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I appreciate everybody that joined me tonight. This was like impromptu, but I wanted to holler at y'all for a second. I think we had a good little build.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below, engage. Tell us what you think. Give us your
Yeah.
perspective. Do you agree or disagree? And we can have a conversation about that.
And Queen, I don't know because I haven't seen you in a while, so I don't know if you're signed up to the site or not. But if you see the scroll at the bottom, in the mortal words of Joe Biden, you got to sign up to the BAIO or you ain't black. So make sure you sign up. Peace, Aida. Oh, I got 20 dislikes. Wow, that's a
God
record.
damn, they working.
That's a record. 21 dislikes, 17 likes. I love it. And what's even funnier is that when the live stream ends and you go back to check the video, all of that shit is going to be gone. So
Oh no, it's 21 now. It's
thank you
21.
for
7.
thank you for all the hard work, trolls. I love it.
Then you know what's crazy? You know what's absolutely crazy about this is there's only 8 people watching. So how you got 21 dislikes but only got 8 like
Oh God, it's so wonderful, man. It's so wonderful. See, after I got triggered, it's nice to trigger somebody else. The universe has balanced itself out. Anyway, y'all. Oh, wait a minute.
all
Hold
right.
on.
Oh,
But Rudy's here.
Hello.
Yo,
How are you all?
what's up? We were just
What's
getting ready
up?
to end this.
I'm
What's
about
up?
to say.
Did you have
Yeah,
something to say?
not really. I just kind of saw your hold up. I just kind of saw your link,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what kind of forum you were gonna have, but I just kind of wanted to tell you. And is that also Jabari on as well?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I sometimes watch your programs on Sunday when I can at 12,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you guys are doing a very good job. I like hearing a lot of things you're saying, and I think it's positive. I I don't know. I know you're fighting a battle. I mean, the ADOS movement. I hate to keep bringing them up, but I know one time I kind of alluded to that. But it's not that you're fighting just the ADOS movement, like ADOS. You're fighting a mindset of our people that's receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's even a bigger problem. But I hope that maybe in a month or two, I hope to be able to talk to you guys and maybe report some good news. I'm kind of working on some things, kind of, in the background, and I don't like to say things that can't come to fruition. But Jabari, I am working with our alma mater, A&T, on a couple of things that you might like. It might involve an African country, and if A&T, we can turn the corner on A&T signing a MOU. Everything that you and I have talked about, and you have talked about Black colleges involving themselves with an African country from top to bottom, of all the capabilities of whatever HBCUs can offer, including the capabilities of A&T, will be at our disposal. So we'll see. But I just wanted to let you all know that I support your efforts.
Greatly appreciated, my friend.
At least you're doing the work. At least you're participating.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope, I do want to say probably the little conference that we had where we were talking about the with the State 55, and they were taking up the mantle about at least on our behalf of African American diaspora, of talking about we need an AU passport. Even though that hasn't come to fruition, but what I was happy about was an organization like that being bold enough to at least espouse that. And so that gave me a good feeling. Well, I'm glad you participated, but it gave me a good feeling about, some people on the continent that, I felt like I can work with and am still working with. And we're going to see if we can turn the corner on a couple of things. But I know it's frustrating, man. I know you've like nearly gone through the roof, man, with people asking you stupid questions, or, I don't know, getting involved with all kinds of, nonsense to take our people off track. But I just want to say, keep up the good fight. And, there are people who believe in what you're talking about.
No doubt. Definitely. Thank you, brother.
Since I missed basically everything you all were talking about, what was the basic gist of what you were saying tonight? Was it anything particularly?
Well, you could probably catch it on the archive because it won't take long for this to archive once we end it. But the title was Confidence versus Competence. And confidence is how good you think you are, and competence is how good you are.
Okay.
And that was the basic, framework of the discussion that we had.
Okay. And were you relating that to our people's mindset about how we handle business with each other, or how we interact with each other, that keeps us either going in circles or moving forward?
Wait, say that again?
Were you relating those two things to how our people, move forward with each other, or why we keep going in circles, or?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All of that.
Yeah, if you go to the archive, you'll see everything. Goodness gracious, these trolls are just
Jabari, I wanted to say one thing to you. On the program on Sunday, when I wrote in something about Ubuntu, and you said, oh, that's pretty much a statement that means, I am because we are. Yeah, that's true, but it's a whole philosophy that could have, applications to us on all different kinds of levels. And what I was trying to say, but I only had, like 200 characters to try to make a point, is that I feel like that what we need to do is to probably have a philosophy that we can kind of teach our people with, or get them into a mindset, so they will be receptive to nationalism, to see that as something that's important, that they should believe in. Right now, they don't believe in it because they don't have a cultural foundation. And I'm saying that Ubuntu, like other ideas, has a whole base of philosophy that has applications to all aspects of culture. So when I think of culture, those 7 principal areas of culture that I listed in the chat are part of it. Economics is one, and also any type of sociology or political science, and just who we are as a people. But I think that the number one misgrounding that we have is that the Black people in the United States actually think that they are an American. I think white people are an American. That's what they label themselves. And because we think that we are, then I think that's the source of, why we feel like we need to continue to beat a dead horse, rather than see our people as a distinct, African people, irrespective of whether we might be considered today citizens of the U.S. or whatnot. But that was my own thought pattern, in regard to that. But I wanted to let you know that clearly, because I wasn't able to just say it in 200 characters this past Sunday, or in, I think, maybe one of the previous shows.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, just to end it, because we got to go. But I just want to say, like, in relation to that, I think, and I agree with everything that you said. This is the thing, though. If a person existence is living in a crack house, can you blame them if they think that they're a crackhead?
Well,
I'll just
you,
leave it at that.
you,
Yeah, I'm
you,
about
you
to.
said that you said that before. You said that before, and I understand why you said it, and I understand the outcome. I guess my thing is that I believe in all of these ideas of nationalism. However, I don't think that there's one perfect solution. I think there are multiple solutions for different people, but I think that we as a people can be doing better in the United States for whatever resources we can get as we transition to Africa. I think we're in a position where we need multiple solutions.
Well, that's going to be a topic that we will go into another live stream, because if we get
Yeah, I'm
into
about to
that, we'll
say.
be here for another.
Yeah, I'm
But
about to say. Yeah.
anyway,
Sure,
y'all, it's been
Peace.
real. Enjoy the conversation.
sure,
Sign up to the website. Sign
Yeah,
up to the
sign up to the
website.
website,
yeah, sure.
and
And
I'll
I'm
holler
gonna
at y'all.
email you. Hold up, I'm gonna email you and Jabari just something that I co-wrote with somebody on Ubuntu. I'll send that to you. I've got both your emails. You can share it with anybody else
Yeah,
too.
you can email it or send it. Like, I know you're in the Signal group and in the Telegram chats. You can do it there too.
Yes, I
All
will.
right.
I will. Thank you so much, you all. Thanks.
All right, everybody.
Peace. And of course, holla up, say what's at the bottom of the of the
Yeah,
if
if
you
you
ain't
don't join the BAIO, you ain't blackjack. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.